Next up, we've got everyone's favourite Spice Girl. It's Baby Spice herself, Emma Bunton, ladies and gentlemen. That's true, Emma, you know it's true. Plus, you're just a dog in a bag. I'm not doing anything wrong. But he could be doing something wrong. We wouldn't know till we took him out the bag, would we? Check this one out. Look at that. But here's my favourite. This one's amazing. Welcome back to the show. Everyone has a favourite Spice Girl. I know I do. So ignore what I told the other four over the years. My genuine favourite has always been Baby Spice. Let's get her out there. It's Emma Bunton. Good. Emma, well, here we are. Sit yourself down. Lovely to have you back on the show.
Oh, it's good to be here.
You know, I've got to start with the thing that's been in the news at the moment, of course, is whether or not because last time you were on the show, we were talking about the reunion tour.
Yes.
So excited to have you all on the couch together.
So excited.
And then Mel B does an interview with Piers Morgan, in which he corners her into saying that she claims she had a one-night stand or a few kind of liaisons with Jerry. And then Jerry gets close, and everyone's saying, well, is the tour... Have you missed all this? You've been away.
I may have mentioned it earlier. It may have been the first thing I said.
OK. And so then there was fear that maybe the tour wouldn't happen. So what is the current state of play?
Of course it's happening.
It's all fine.
It's all fine.
And has... So presumably Mel and Jerry have had a chat about this bombshell and have come to some kind of, like...
Yeah, we've all chatted about it. Yeah. Listen, we had fun back in the day. I didn't know anything else. But, we're all good. We can't wait. We've all been chatting. It's all good.
But I get the feeling, when you were on the show, it was interesting, because I was looking at the four of you, and when I'd ask a question, one person would answer another. Yes. But I got the feeling that you and Mel C are the kind of more... How do I put this politely? Well, the sort of peacekeepers, the more stable members of the group, in some way.
I think, we all know each other's characters so well that we deal with each other in different ways. We have different friendships, so we work really well together. That's what's so good about us, I think.
OK, so look, let's talk about your solo stuff, because you were planning this solo before the tour. Back in the studio. Why was it 12 years? Why such a long wait? Was this because you had the kids?
Yeah, I had my first child 12 years ago, and I don't want to give too much information, but as I was having Bo, a song was on by the Beatles, Here Comes the Sun. And ever since then, he's kind of said, oh, I'd love to hear you sing that, Mummy, because it's such a special song for us,
wow,
right?
He's got a great memory.
But I played it to him over and over again.
Of course.
But he loves the song. So I thought, oh, that'd be a nice kind of stepping stone.
I think your children sing on the album, don't they? Or
they do, yeah. So, both of them are on the album. That's the reason I wanted to do this album, was for them, really, for my children. They're massive music fans.
Would they have a future? Would you encourage them to go into the business? Because presumably they can both sing.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. I don't know. I think we're still, quite far away from that. But, yes, my youngest is very musical, loves dancing, loves drama, loves singing. So we'll see. My eldest is more into sports.
Right.
So, but obviously, I just want to encourage them. I want them to find a passion. That is my main thing. Yeah. We kind of do everything, and just find a passion.
Well, speaking of passion, you've been together with your man now for, is it 21 years?
Yeah.
Together with Jay for 21 years. That's quite something, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing in the music business.
Yeah, in the music business.
And he sings on the album as well, doesn't he?
He sings on the album. We do a duet together, and it was really lovely. But when we were in the studio, we are quite tactile, Jade and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And this is a passionate tactile, or are you just holding hands a lot? Or...
No, we're quite passionate.
Oh, really? What, so like kissing and stuff?
Yeah.
Even now, after 21 years?
Yeah.
Wow,
I know,
that's weird.
He's adorable. But while we were in the studio, we were kind of singing the song, and then the producer was like, guys, can you get a room? Because it was quite romantic.
But what a lovely thing to hear. That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah. Are you romantic?
Oh, you've no idea.
Can you imagine?
Look. Are you in love at the moment?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, that's so nice.
How lovely. Yeah. That would explain the weight loss and all that.
Yeah. And the travelling and the band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's turning into a teenager. OK, so children singing on it, your partner singing on it. Yeah. What about, is your mum allowed to sing on it?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Listen, Mummy Bunton, I love her. I love you. But she's got the worst voice.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. It's like...
What, like just flat or no quality?
No, flat, no tone, like... Just no, just
But most
not
people
good.
who can't sing know they can't sing, so she probably...
No, she tries as well, bless her, yeah, she sings along. And she always gets the words wrong. Like, for years, she used to sing, I really, really, really want to have a good time, instead of zigga zigga.
Wow.
I really, really, really want to have a good... I was like, what are you singing?
That's so sweet.
It's
That's such a mum
isn't
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so...
I remember I was at my mum once, and I had Queen, I had We Will Rock You in the car.
She called you Graham Norton.
Well, she doesn't make that mistake. But we were in the car, and it was after we were driving back for Mother's Day. It was a very fond memory, but I was thinking, why are people of that generation, when they listen to the next music, because she was singing, and she was a bit drunk, I'll admit, it was Mother's Day. She was, we will rock you, waka, waka, rock you. You see, that's not part of the song. Waka, waka, rock you.
I love that. That's so sweet.
Let's have a look at a clip. This is Baby, Please Don't Stop.
You can shake me down, you can wind me up, you can drive me crazy, baby, please don't stop. I'm going out of my head, need to feel your love, but too much can never be enough. So baby, please don't stop. Oh baby, please don't stop. Baby, please don't stop. Oh baby, please don't stop.
Please Don't Stop. That's the new single. It's out right now.
Yes.
The album is called My Happy Place. But you look
Thank
amazing.
you.
So you don't appear to age. You don't appear to get older.
Well, that's very nice of you.
It's
Thank
true, though, isn't it?
Same with all your guests tonight.
Yeah.
Also on the album, Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams is on the album.
OK,
yeah.
and they presumably now, they were a big established band before the Spice Girls had their hit. So did you have a crush on any of Take That? Did you like Robbie when you were young?
I used to like Mark. He was cute, I thought.
Mark's the cute
yeah.
one.
And we did used to watch videos of Take That, actually, and we would pick our favourites and then we would copy them and do their dance routines. But, yeah, Mark was my favourite.
But when you were with Robbie, now, Robbie said once he'd slept with
Robbie is
4
a very
out of
naughty boy.
the 5 Spice Girls.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you to be specific here, but... Did you draw him up on that comment?
I spoke to him about this, actually, because, you know, we have become friends. He's an amazing guy, very professional, and he asked me to do a duet with him on one of his gigs. So I went along and we sang Two Become One live, and it was amazing, really worked. It was about 3 years ago. And then, so when I was recording this album, I thought, I know, I'm going to get him on the album.
Return the favour.
Yeah, so I emailed him and I just said, listen, Rob, I'd love us to record Two Become One for my new album. You know, fancy doing it. But first of all, you have to stop saying that you've slept with 4 of the Spice Girls out of 5.
Because it's 5 out of 5. I know, it's so cool. Why would he...
I loved his response. He's so adorable. He goes, I know, I keep getting in trouble for that, and I'm sorry. And he was very sweet.
Yeah.
He goes, I think I'm funny sometimes.
He's trying to
and I make a joke,
yeah,
you know. So,
and it's quite a funny, memorable line, but, yeah, it's not necessarily a good thing to say. It's a great track on the album. It's called My Happy Place. There's the album. Get yourself a copy of that. And if you haven't got a ticket for the Spice Girls gig, I think you put on some more dates, didn't you?
We have put on some more dates.
So there might be some more available. I know it sold out super quickly.
It did. It's yeah. Wembley sold out super quick. Obviously, Manchester.
Down. And it's what, a month before the first concert? So
yes.
have you rehearsed? Have you got everything screwed down tight?
We start rehearsing on Monday. And I'm really nervous because I've got the worst memory out of all the girls. So I'm worried that I am not going to remember any of the dance routines. So
hold on, Monday, and you're a month away. I mean, so you haven't started rehearsals yet?
No.
I would have thought you'd been doing it for weeks now.
I know. I think maybe we should have.
That's nervous. I'm feeling nervous on your behalf now.
Yeah, I'm feeling really nervous. It's a big show as well. And but I think we're using a lot of the old dance routines so that everyone can dance along. But, yeah, as I said, my memory's terrible, so I'm worried that I'm not going to remember them. Also, I've cracked an ankle on every tour.
Oh, no.
I've fallen over. So I'm a bit, I've kind of got...
What, a different ankle on each tour, or the same one?
Same ankle.
Do you have to be super fit?
Ankle.
I mean, if there's dancing in every... How long's the show for?
It's going to be at least...
Don't look at me, I don't know.
About 2 hours?
2 hours of
Yeah.
solid
At
dancing
the
every night.
stadium.
They haven't rehearsed it. They don't know how long it's going to be yet.
No, they don't. Or how many songs? Do you know what
It would be...
songs?
It's
We
normally...
have got a set list.
I would have thought an hour and a half. People would be happy with an hour and a half.
Yes.
Look, you don't want to outstay your welcome.
Exactly.
No, you know what I mean? It's like...
We always say we want to leave them wanting more.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
20 minutes, then.
OK, Emma, lovely to have you back on the show. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming in.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Emma Bunton. Zigga, zigga, za. So to come, Samson Kao will be here, the fabulously funny Sarah Pascoe, and we've got music from Mumford & Sons. Don't go away. Sit yourself down, young man.
What's happening?
Well, I'm so excited you're on the show. Your career, man, your career's taken off very fast, very suddenly.
Oh,
It's
no,
kind of...
it's mad, isn't it? Whose idea was that?
Yeah, it's really happened. Famalam's on BBC Three, of course. You've got Time Wasters on ITV2. That's a very funny show. And a new show we'll be talking about in a minute, Sliced, on Dave. A film coming up with Idris Elba.
Yeah, Driss.
Holy.
Yeah.
And so when did you think, OK, this is all happening for real now? Was that maybe when you were nominated for a BAFTA? For
Yeah,
last
I
year?
think it was when I found out I got nominated and I was getting mad, like...
And this was for Famalam, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was for Famalam. I remember I got the call by the producer, my friend AK. And he's like, bruv, you got nominated. And I was like, ah. And then I rang, my mum was in the other room, and I was like, Mum, I got nominated for a BAFTA. And she's like, Jesus is Lord, oh my God. I started going mad. She started screaming, praising, and then she was like, what is a BAFTA? And I was like, oh, go to bed, man, you know.
So how was that evening? How did she enjoy the night?
It was wicked. She got more interviews than me in her bumblebee dress. She was
Look,
living.
you have a picture, I think, of...
Yeah, she was flexing.
That's a proper formal night out there, isn't it?
Yeah, she loved it, man.
OK, now, by the way, Famalam is great. You play a load of great characters. Tell me about Barry Woke, though.
Oh, the Barry White sketch.
Yeah.
That was mad. So he's basically talking about how women are underappreciated in the industry and in the workspace. So he's called Barry Woke.
Yeah.
Well, you're woke, innit?
Yeah.
You got beads and that.
Yeah.
No, I'm lit.
Hey, what was that?
Yeah, where'd that come from? OK, let's have a look. This is Samson, as I said, so we all know and love Barry White, but this is like a Barry White for the modern age. This is from Famalam.
Yeah.
You know how I feel. That gender pay gap's real. And it makes me feel so angry, baby. Did you know that women are more likely to get interrupted by a man in a meeting? Of course you did. And I just mansplained that to you.
There you go. Barry Woke. Very funny. OK. Barry Woke. Were you a Spice Girls fan back in the day? Can I ask?
Yeah.
And did you have a favourite of the Spice Girls?
Come on. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know you was with Jay from Damage. Man, remember Jay from Damage? Yeah, bro. But, yeah.
Who's your favourite, then?
You, innit? I love Spice Girls. I still remember the lyrics and that.
Do you?
Yeah. Don't even try it.
Come on.
No. Two become one.
Come on, Samson.
Yeah.
Let's have a tiny bit, the two of you. This is a chance. When are you going to get a chance to perform with your favourite Spice Girls?
What's the chorus? The chorus.
Come a little bit closer.
Nah, come on, man. I got my boys in the audience. This is nuts.
I think your boys would like to hear you do two become one.
No. Come on, hey.
I need some love like I never needed love before. Wanna make love to you.
Had a lot of love, now I'm like for more.
Very nice. Listen, I've heard a lot of stories of people, how they get into the business and what inspired them to get into the business and how they first saw it as an opportunity. But yours has got to be one of the most extraordinary stories. Would you tell us this story?
All right, cool. So I was, so when I was like 13, there was this, you know, like, police used to stop and search people a lot.
Is this back in Peckham?
Back in I was in Peckham at the time, and people used to stop and search people and stuff. And I remember me and two of my boys, we were just chilling, and we was like, like, if they're going to stop us, we're going to make it hard, because we're tired of this. So we said, we're going to run. You have to catch us. And so we got stopped one time, and they were like, stay there. Boys. Like, nope. And we was gone. So we started legging it. And I remember I got to this pub in Peckham, like, there's a place called Bellenden Road in Peckham. And there was this man standing outside. I think he was on the phone, and he was like, hey, I'll come in here. And I went in the pub, and he hid me in the pub. And
so he saw you running, thought, I'm going to help
this
kid out.
He saw me running, yeah. He saw me running. He was like, hey, get in here. And it was Bob Hoskins. yeah. And he was like, sit down in there and just chill off for a bit. And I remember one of my boys ringing me, and he was like, where are you, man? I was like, yeah, I got away. Some small white man hid me in a pub. I was like, there's bare cameras in here, though. I might jump in this film, bruv. And, and then he was like, all right, go on, off you go. And then I legged it, and till this day, like, I only recently, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I started, like, acting, that I realised it was Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He's the man, yeah.
So he was filming, I think it was Last Orders.
Last Orders, yeah.
And so what did you think when you're a kid, you went in this pub and suddenly you see lights, you see cameras?
Yeah, I just saw light. I thought he was setting me up, actually, because there was just more white men in there. And I was just like, this is weird. But he was like, sitting there, and I just saw the cameras, like, I might just sharpen up.
And so did you really think, OK, maybe I could have a career?
I mean, you know, like, it was so close to, you know, where I grew up, like, East Dulwich, so it was like, it can be that close, then why not?
Yeah. But you still volunteer in your local area, don't you?
Yeah, so I grew up in East Dulwich, and there's an adventure playground called Docking Hill Adventure Playground, and it's like where I kind of honed in a bunch of skills and let out steam and stuff. It's just a safe place for kids in that community to be. And I feel like now, like, with all the madness that's going on, I think it's about time that they pump more money into, like, adventure playgrounds and youth services, because ever since they stopped, I saw, like, the decline of you know, kids falling out of school.
So a lot of the trouble we see on the streets now, you think may well be at least linked in some way.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but I feel like we've got to start somewhere, and I feel like that is a safe place for kids to come and kind of nurture these kids and let them go on the right path instead of the wrong.
It must be kind of weird and exciting for them when they see someone who they now know, presumably they've seen you on Family or they've seen you in other shows.
Yeah. Some of the kids are all right. Some of them are dickheads. One kid came up to me. One time, I did this thing called Youngers, and one of the kids came up to me and was like, oi, you did that Youngers thing, innit? You look fat on telly. I almost tripped him up.
So, Samson, people can watch a new show, Sliced, which is a brand new sitcom, which you've co-written.
Yeah.
And you're starting... so it starts in May on Dave. It's not on just... tell us about this. What's the premise of Sliced?
So it's basically about Joshua. I play Joshua, who's a pizza delivery boy, down on his luck, and you know, he's not paying rent at home, and his mum's, you know, giving him a day to get the rent money, or she's going to kick him out and stuff. So we kind of start on that journey, and I kind of wanted to tell a story, me and Phil, about what happens when you knock on to deliver a pizza, and the story is in the room. So every episode is a new story.
So the premise is he's at home and his mum's saying, look, you're kind of working, you're a young man now,
Yeah,
not a baby.
yeah.
You've got to pay rent.
Got to pay rent.
But you're living at home.
Yeah.
So is it based on the
Yeah,
reality
bits and
there?
bobs. No, you know.
And so is your mum... Did your mum change towards you?
Yeah, back in the day, it was... Yeah, but now it's all good.
Yeah. OK, let's have a look. This is a clip from Slice. As I said, it starts on Dave in May. It's great fun.
Toasting girls, eh? There are already 8 people living in this house, so I can't even afford you. 3 months you have not paid any rent. Do you think my food is free? You are 30 years old.
I'm 24.
When we're home, you are 30 years old, and all your boxers have holes in them. What kind of a man are you? Joshua, today, you must pay me 150 pounds, or you and your rubbish will sleep outside.
But I'm your son.
Joshua, at 5 years old, you are my son. At 30 years old, you are my tenant. And a 30-year-old who does not pay rent is a burglar.
That's great. Good work. That's great. So it's all happening for you. It must be super exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a bit mad. It's a bit mad at the moment, but I'm excited, isn't it? Yes, Emma.
Yeah. Are you a single man? Have you got a partner at the moment or something?
I'm single at the minute. Yeah. I'm single.
You enjoying that?
Yeah, I'm ready though, innit?
Yeah?
Yeah.
And is your mother putting pressure on you? She wants...
Yeah, she's like, she went, what did she say to me? She went, oh, yeah, I said to her, oh, happy Mother's Day, because it was Mother's Day. I was like, oh, happy Mother's Day, Mum. She was like, thank you. Find a wife and buy me perfume.
Next time you come back home, will you do me a favour? Bring your mum. I want to meet her.
Yeah, I'll bring her, yeah.
It's great to have you here. Samson Kao, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Samson. Very good, thank you. Still to come on the show, the fabulous Sarah Pascoe, music from Mumford & Sons. See you after the break. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out. She's a brilliant comedian. I'm thrilled she's on the programme. It's Sarah Pascoe. Emma, Samson. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you for having me. It's so crazy because you're watching TV and then they tell you to come in it.
So Sarah has just finished filming. You've come to the end of the tour and you filmed the last thing at the Palladium.
Yeah.
The tour was called Lads, Lads, Lads.
That's right, yeah.
Which is a great title for a show. Why did you choose Lads, Lads, Lads?
Well, actually, it was a stag do. They were chanting it at a train station while I was crying.
Lads.
Yeah. And it inspired me.
What do we think that means when young men are chanting lads, lads, lads? What is that?
I think it means they're very sad inside and feel very isolated because of toxic masculinity. They can't express their actual affection for each other. Yes. They have to get drunk and do those kind of things.
Luckily, I'm deaf, so I can't hear any of it.
So that kind of inspired you, but the show isn't about that evening as such, is it?
No,
What do you cover?
I really wanted to talk about things like weddings. I went to a lot of weddings last year. I made myself do a lot of things for the first time, because I think as an adult, I'm nearly 40, you can start to kind of get into a rut with things. I really wanted to kind of push myself.
So new things?
New things. I went to a football match. I had my first ever Brazilian wax.
Wow,
I did all these kind of things.
So both of those things...
Really needed it, yeah.
So let's start with the waxing then. So let's dive straight in there.
That's what she said.
Now the Brazilian holder, is that where it's reduced to a kind of like a landing strip?
Why are you looking at me?
Well,
you're a young single man. You know all the new shapes.
I don't really know. But
it's kind of that.
They take a lot off.
You're not bald.
Yeah.
You still look like an adult.
Oh, that must be
but there's a lot less.
Oh, that must hurt.
It does hurt, yeah. Yeah, it does hurt. It's a very odd thing.
So what did you discover about yourself in the Brazilian scenario?
What did I discover? You have to do small talk with a woman who's doing quite painful and intimate things to you.
And this person presumably does this on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But the idea is to try and get you chatting to distract you. From anyone who's had a Brazilian will know this. So they might start with something like the weather. This woman started by talking about the Iraq War and our role in that as a country and her opinion on George Bush, which was ironic, bearing in mind what she was doing.
Well, we think we know where she stands on bushes, yeah.
She eradicates them.
Football, how did you find the football match? So was this another thing where you're thinking, OK, I'm going to a territory...
because, again, I'm really scared of kind of, I guess, big, mainly male groups. And I don't support a football team. I think it's incredible. I think the talent is incredible. It's exciting. But so what I did is I wore a combination of kits. I went to see West Ham versus Liverpool. So I wore, two teams.
One.
I wore kind of a West Ham T-shirt, Liverpool scarf and socks, and an Arsenal hat.
Wow.
Just so that everyone knew that football was the real winner.
Do you do... a lot of comedians I speak to, they cull their family life for material, and you do that as well.
I do. Unfortunately, I can't keep a secret, and I talk about my personal life, which involves other people, and get into a lot of trouble about it.
And so, do you have to square up with family members first?
Sometimes, yeah. It's good out of politeness. We've talked a lot about kind of mums this evening, and mums are amazing because they're so funny without intending to be. And my mum, she is honestly, she's my hero, and I'm so proud of her. She had me as a teenager. She had 3 children by herself, but she's a cold woman, and she doesn't stop doing things. So, like when I moved into my new house, she sent me a hammer. without a note. Just a hammer in a Jiffy envelope to protect myself from intruders. Just so I could hammer someone to death in case they broke in.
But nice to know she's thinking of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But you have a close relationship with her? You said she's...
I think very, very close. And last year, so both of my sisters are younger than me. They've both got families and they're both married. Cheryl got married last August. And my parents have been divorced for 30 years. My mum decided that his speech at my sister's wedding, she heckled him. Like, he's got jet lag, he's flown over from Australia for the wedding. My mum decides now is the time to ask him some questions. Yeah. And so he stands up, he's very nervous, the paper's kind of shaking in his hand, and he starts by saying how much he loves my sister and how proud he is of her. And then my mum pipes up, then how come he never paid any child maintenance?
Wow.
She's a brilliant woman.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And was that true as well?
Yeah, it's tense, and we're still not really talking as a family. She also wore a white dress to Cheryl's wedding.
No.
She wore a white dress to Cheryl's wedding, and when anyone asked her, like, oh, how come you're wearing white? She went, I paid for it, it's my fucking day.
Now, you've got a new housemate in your life.
I've got a tiny dog, a puppy called Mouse, who I'm so desperately in love with.
Look, that is an unbelievably cute dog.
Oh, he's just so adorable.
I mean, we're all thinking how cute, and Clarkson's thinking I'd put that in a bap and eat it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking what a massive cock it's got.
That's a tiny penis, Jeremy.
It's not that big, no. I mean, I don't think it's that big.
Compared to mine. That's a tiny dog.
That is the cutest
He's really lovely. He's a bit bigger than that now. I'm so in love with him.
And what sort of a breed mixing is he?
He's half Jack Russell, half Springer Spaniel, and he's incredible. Do you know what? People have this thing where they call them, like, oh, you've got a fur baby now, you've got a fur baby, which I think is such a stupid phrase because it insinuates you're kind of compensating for not having children. How can you compensate with something that is better? Like, he's so much better than a baby, and I didn't even have to tear my perineum to get him. I just went round to a lady.
And so what are you doing? You're working on a new book, aren't you?
I've just finished my new book. It'll be out in August.
Because your last book, Sarah's last book, I'm sure some of you read it, was called Animal.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an anthropological look at humankind, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was... I wanted to find out about how the female body evolved, because there's lots of really interesting things that are idiosyncratic about human beings in general and the adult human female body. And the next book, it's much more about kind of pornography and transactional sex, things that I hadn't covered in the first book.
Wow.
But I really...
Wow.
But I really love... This is the great thing about stand-up. Your days are all free. And so it's so great to kind of research and write in the daytime and then work at night.
But see, you say your days are free, but you're filling it with work.
Yeah, and a puppy.
Yeah.
That was him on my second draft.
Oh, wow.
That's what he was standing on.
Sarah, I'm so pleased we finally got you on your show. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having
the
me.
fabulous Sarah Pascoe, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. OK. Now, you know, we normally end the show with music, and of course, Mumford & Sons will be performing for us at the end of the programme. Before we hear from them, we thought we'd have a quick chat with a couple of them. Will you please welcome Marcus Mumford and Winston Marshall? Come and sit down. So, Marcus, Winston, thank you for coming on the show. We're going to perform the full band in a minute over there. But, Marcus, of course, I think everyone knows this who loves the band, but, of course, Mumford & Sons, they are, of course, not your sons.
Agreed.
Is that a band title, a name that you have grown to regret over?
Yeah. And we've said that publicly many times. It's a stupid band name.
What,
but band names in themselves are just stupid.
But that one's silly in that.
Particularly stupid. You're right. Yeah.
But when I first saw you, I thought that sounds nice that this man's got in business with his sons. I mean, I felt a little bit cheated when I found out.
We toured with the Mystery Jets, who had their dad in the band for a while. The idea of a family business was sort of at the core of it, but band names are stupid, man.
So what would you have called the band, Winston, if you'd been asked first?
Marshall & Sons.
I don't know if all of you were, but I know Winston in particular. Were you all Spice Girls fans when you were younger, mate?
We were. Winston in particular.
Winston was a man.
I was a massive fan.
Oh, my...
I had a T-shirt collection. Oh. I collected
Did you?
Spice Girls T-shirts, and my mum managed to find the prize piece.
No way.
Which I wanted to show you.
This is
She's very excited, by the way.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at this. I think it was a bootleg.
That is amazing.
Fantastic.
That looks like it's going to go up in flames with any fiction.
Oh, my goodness.
That's one of the worst-looking shirts I've seen in my
Isn't it
life.
fantastic?
Do you? I
Oh,
love
you all look great on it, but what's going on with the sleeves?
I kind of like it. It's really retro.
Also,
It's
let's
cool.
make Jerry and Mel B kiss.
Again.
Don't leave me out.
OK, let's have a look at this. This is Mumford & Sons' fourth album, ladies and gentlemen. It's out now. Look at this. It's so nice to have Bunton show this. Look at that. Double album.
Oh, yeah.
Delta. And it's not a change in direction so much, but it's a change in style. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. We get pretty bored pretty quickly, so we like to move on.
So this isn't... So the sound that when people think of they associate with you is that kind of like more sort of twangy, banjo-y country sound. Not country, but, you know, and you're kind of moving away from that.
Still there. Can't get rid of him. He plays the banjo.
Yeah. And very well.
Yeah, very well. But no, yeah, I think we're trying to, you know, like all bands do, try and change our vibe a little bit.
But in a way, I guess you get trapped, do you not, in a certain kind of area? Because people...
I think you're always a couple years ahead of your audience, so you have to be gracious, I think. You have to kind of approach it like there's people who might expect a certain thing of you. I mean, you must know this really well, but there's people who might expect a certain thing of you, but you also want to get out what's naturally coming out of you at the time.
Yeah.
And then you've got to record it, and then you've got to promote it and tour it, and you need to kind of give a couple of years for people to catch up.
But by the time you're touring, I guess, you've moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Because that's a year and a half behind, but it's new to us.
Yeah, the new demos are pretty, they're pretty weird.
Pretty rad.
Rad? Oh, nice.
I know what I'm doing now.
Clarkson's got no idea what's happening. Totally different language.
What song are you doing tonight?
We're going to sing Beloved, and we're going to sing it with Yebba and the Staves, so two of our
Beloved
favourite
with Yebba and the Staves. Do you need any help? Because Sarah used to play ukulele back in the day.
I didn't bring it.
We know Samson's got a fine voice.
Jeremy shake his beads.
Yeah, he's going to twirl.
I'll tell you what. Thank you so much for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus and Winston from Mumford & Sons. Guys, if you'd like to go over and get some ready for performance, thank you so much for coming on.
Not again.
That's a great T-shirt. Thanks to the boys and thanks to all my guests tonight. Of course, the fabulous Sarah Pascoe, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Samson Kao, the one and only Emma Bunton, and, yes, I love him, Jeremy Clarkson. There he is.